One.
Uh, Grateful for our guys' effort and performance tonight. Um, thought uh, thought really thought the guys really prepared the right way this week and played played with a purpose, played for something bigger than themselves. Bryce Bohannon got a little bit of an injury on Tuesday. He's our leading pass catcher on the year, and it happened in a special teams period where he asked to be put on special teams, which for a starting level player is not always the case. But he said, "Hey, I want to play on punt return and help, not as a returner, but as a holdup guy." And so we've had him on there the last couple weeks. Had a little friendly fire injury on Tuesday. I think it gave our guys a little bit of maybe deeper appreciation for playing for something bigger than yourself. And we talk about what's your why, but a lot of good. Durkin was 5 for 5 on field goals. That's awesome. Hit a 52. That's amazing. I would like to kick less field goals and score more touchdowns. You know what I mean? You want to win the big games, like the really big games, we got to score more touchdowns. And good performance all in all. A lot of respect for Casey and Temple. They're a much improved football team from a year ago, and it shows. Like you watch the tape, and it ain't real hard to figure out how much growth has happened here in this program at Temple, and I got a lot of respect for them. So with that, we'll open it up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with their response. We talk about, when events happen, good or bad, what really matters is your response. And so we had a bad event a few weeks ago at UTSA, right? Like, did not play good football. Maybe like the worst football I've ever seen as a head coach. I was like really disappointed in our performance that Thursday night. Our response to that was really good the next week. Well, sometimes when the events are going good, you get complacent or comfortable or casual, and I get leery of the response being lethargic or not urgent. And so I thought our guys had good preparation. Um, they tapped into what it was going to take to play against a really good Temple team um, here on the road in a challenging environment, and just really proud of their mindset coming into the game.
Well, when you went out 26-7, typically you had 100 yards of
Yeah.
offense. How impressive.
Well, I'm kind of pissed on a couple of the ones they had in the first half. What we call a rainbow route that we just gave them a couple plays early in the game. So I don't mind when people like other teams got good players, but early in the game we gave them their touchdowns right in the first half. We just gifted a couple plays to them. It's like let's play good football. It's not like let's act like we've done this before. But um, yeah, I mean I thought our defense played okay. They've done a good job of establishing identity here with their program. They're running the football and being really consistent and staying on schedule and taking shots off the run game. I thought their quarterback, he's coming into the game, he had 22 touchdowns, one interception. I think the craziest thing I've seen stat line wise, they had played 10 games. They had 2 turnovers all year coming tonight, one fumble and one interception, which is unheard of. And so our defense did some good things, but didn't dominate by any stretch of the imagination. Still did some things that we could do better.
Jake, you had the first big play right at the start.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the second play post to Shaz was an awesome play. It was kind of reminiscent of the Memphis game a couple weeks ago, where we hit a similar type of action. The first play of the game. This was the second play this week. Um, we missed one read for sure on a slot option that we could have converted and not had to kick a field goal. I could have made the throw and he just didn't read it out right. But he did some good things. Still room to grow, but he's playing good football. He's tough. He's been resilient.
He didn't run his rushed him.
Yeah, he's been dealing with a little lower body deal. He in this game he missed a couple snaps, and so we'll run him when we need to. But if we don't have to, we're probably trying not to run him quite as much because he's the wear and tear of some of that's taking its toll. Yeah. It's so cool to see. I was saying this to Corey on the radio before I came in here, and I've shared this with you, Gabe, before. But Jamari's playing his 4th year of organized football in his life. Played 2 years of high school football. He's really a track kid, and then this is his second year in college. And I think the process of how you put the work in to become a good player, he's still figuring it out. And I think what's been neat to see, he obviously had success last week, had 94 yards rushing and a touchdown, right? Um, this week, like I get to work at like somewhere between 5 and 5:30 most days. And I walked in the building on Tuesday morning at about 5:30, and he was in the weight room rolling out. When our first meeting's not till 7 o'clock, but he's in there getting his body ready. And I think he's probably invested more to the middle part of his development as well. He's got elite physical traits. I mean, he's a 5'10", 205-pound kid who ran a 10,600 meter in high school, and he is very, very gifted. His maturation process has maybe looked a little different because his exposure to football hasn't been as extensive as maybe some other guys. And so he's still growing. He hasn't started to even scratch the surface, I don't think, of how good of a player he can become.
So I know last week you mentioned you felt more of a bottom 25 team in the league. Do you feel like this one showed you more?
Yeah, we might be like the seventh best team in college football right now. I don't know if we're bottom 25 today, but we're not top 25 yet. We're say we're middle of the road.
You mentioned you don't like to get that many field goals, but you went for one on 4th and 1.
Yeah, well,
Just because of the score situation.
score situation, yeah. So I probably was. You've been around me long enough. I'm usually going for that. But that was a situation where the score dictated. I felt like the points were important. You know, I usually want to be aggressive, but I felt like we needed to take those points to get the score to extend the lead there.
After this game, after playing Temple, what are your impressions about them going forward?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I have a ton of respect for what Casey's establishing here. This team is a very different football team than it was a year ago when we played them. They're very well coached. They don't beat themselves. They don't turn the football over. They're playing hard. They're playing for each other. I got a lot of respect for Casey. I told him for the game, like, man, you've done a fantastic job, and he really has. And his staff, I think Casey's track record speaks for itself. I mean, the guy's won everywhere he's been, and he hires a great staff. And I think he coaches the right way. And, I'm not trying to say Casey's like old, but as a young coach, he's a granddad. I'm not. And as a young coach, I've watched him operate. And I have a lot of respect for the job he does because I just think he's really good at being a head football coach, and very, very, very impressed with his body of work over his career, and what he's done in a short stretch here is very impressive.
Did you say anything to JJ at halftime? I know he was
Like, hey, how about you just pick your feet up and not get tripped? Like, dad gum. Like, I could have not gotten tackled right there. Hey, man, TJ Smith. I love TJ. TJ hit the kick return. I'm like, TJ, just pick your legs up. Don't get tripped.
Is TJ okay?
He's all right. He just got his shoulder dinged a little bit. He should be fine. I mean, at this point in the year, everybody's got a little boo-boo.
Getting to you so late in the off season, what he's done, does that surprise you?
Yes and no. I mean, Jake was really second in the quarterback competition. And Brendan Sullivan got hurt 2 weeks before game one, but Jake didn't get to us till late July. And so he had so much ground to catch up just in regards to installation process of how we do things offensively. The terminology is different. But man, he lived in the football building. I think the crazy part of what he had to do was he still had to take 3 classes to graduate from BYU so he could be eligible as a grad transfer at Tulane, because if he'd come in as an undergrad transfer, it would have been impossible for him to get all his hours transferred in. And so he put in the work to graduate with 3 classes and basically from BYU in basically a month span, and then simultaneously learned an offense that, we're not maybe as complex as some NFL offenses, but we're also not a one-word, very simplified offense like some offenses where it's like you don't have to learn a whole lot of verbiage. We have a lot of tags and shifts and motions to what we do, and very impressed with how he's operating.
How do you avoid all the talk this week about the future to be with the American title game, everything, you have rankings coming in Tuesday night, tiebreaker, all that? How do you avoid that or crap poison all week?
Yeah, I'll talk a lot of trash to our team about how average we are, and just let them know you get every 7 days to get promoted or exposed. And we've been exposed before. Like, our flaws have been very evident before. And so, man, you can't ever assume that past success has anything to do with future success. Like, as soon as you think we've got 9 wins. That means we're going to get a 10th. Well, that's when you're going to get beat. Like the only way you do it, you got to go out and earn it every day. And the only way you earn it is by preparing the right way and giving great effort. And um, we'll be ready. We better be ready. If we're not ready to keep playing good football, man, like I'm probably going to coach these guys harder this week than I have all year. I coach them harder after wins than I do losses. After losses, I usually hug them because everybody else tells them how bad we are.
Now that it's right in front of you, what would it mean to guarantee yourself as opposed to the conference championship? No team's ever been in the conference championship for 4 years in a row, and when you've been part of the last two, this program will beat them 4 in a row.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. I mean, playing in the game's a big deal. Hosting the game's a big deal. This is a competitive league. This league, I think, top to bottom, is probably more challenging than it was when I came into it a year ago. I was like, well, a year ago, I look around the league and I'm like, there's some people that I don't know if they're committed to being great at football. Temple is clearly one of them. I think that's made a legitimate commitment to improving football. And I think across the league, I think everybody's elevated what they're doing and how they're doing it and playing better football.
That's what,
Okay, by the way, last time I checked, UTSA was a 51-18 on these counts.
That place has it's got voodoo on it, man. The Alamo Dome's got real voodoo magic. Like, I don't know what's going on, but and UTSA's got talent too. But what they've done there is impressive. The last thing I want to say, it was so awesome to see our turnout tonight from the Tulane people, man. Like, I know we got a lot of alumni and presence up here in the Northeast. But like, I turned around at one point in the game, I looked up and like, man, it almost was like we're at Ullman a little bit. Like it was like Ullman in Philly. And so it was a cool feeling to see so many people show up tonight to support our team. And the thing I would like to do is challenge, it's going to be Thanksgiving break next week. So students are going to be out of town. Man, the city of New Orleans needs to show up for this football team. It's 9-2 with an opportunity to clinch playing in the conference championship next week with a win. Man, there's no reason why we should not sell the game out. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't. So thanks for the turnout tonight. Everybody that came to Philly, come to New Orleans.